this last news article is kind of a bummer to end on. I don't know why I ordered it this way. Usually I put a fun, short, quick one out at the end, like Elden Ring should have been this one, but here we are. This is from Mary Dealer-Sandry over at gamesindustry.biz. Forspoken studio Luminous Productions has been merged with Square Enix. Forspoken developer Luminous Productions is being folded into Square Enix. The company announced the merger, which will be effective from May 1st, is part of a wider strategy to bolster the competitive prowess of the firm's development studio, Square Enix said. Luminous previously was a subsidiary of Square Enix, so it will now be an in-house studio and not a separate entity anymore. The studio confirmed the news on Twitter, adding that between now and May 1st, it will remain focused on the development of Forspoken, as it's currently working on a patch and DLC due to release this summer. When we established Luminous Productions in 2018, our vision was to make AAA games that fuse technology and artistry to deliver completely new play experiences, the studio continued. Having the chance to do just that has been a dream come true. We appreciate you taking this journey with us and look forward to continuing to create new entertainment and experiences as a part of the Square Enix family. So yeah, they're not necessarily like they're not portraying it as a bummer, but we all know why this is happening.
Yep.
Because Forspoken came out and got
it bombed.
Let me see. Is there the Metacritic here? I can't even find it. It was not good.
Well, it's not only that. It didn't review well, right? It didn't sell well.
A Metascore of 64.
Yeah.
Not great. And yeah, with bugs and issues and gameplay stuff, like it was not great. Which is a bummer. Which reading this article, and it mentions that the studio was formed just in 2018. That seems like a fast turnaround.
The studio itself was turned into Luminous Productions in 2018, but they've been working as a studio for a long time because they're the team behind Final Fantasy 15 as well, and that came out a while ago.
Okay. I wonder when did they start development on this game though? Because that's how I interpreted that. Was like, oh, they started in 2018. I
have to imagine it was shortly after they finished. After they didn't even finish Final Fantasy 15, they got it taken away from them because they cut the DLC short for that one. So they must have done that and pivoted to Forspoken. Because Square was like, we're not going to put any more money into Final Fantasy 15 because not enough people are buying it at this point. So that's the only time frame that would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so this is kind of a bummer. So they're still going to be around. From what we understand, they haven't announced any layoffs at all. But again, they're kind of losing. Goodness. They're losing their kind of what little autonomy they had. You know, even though they were still connected to Square Enix, they were their own studio, quote unquote. Where now it's like, no, you're just kind of Square Enix. Like you're gonna do everything we want you to do. It's like, oh, there's not even a chance for us to put our own. No, you just gotta do what we say.
They're probably gonna end up working on Final Fantasy 16 DLC. I wouldn't be surprised. Or Final Fantasy 14, one of the two.
I mean, people
be a backup studio on that.
Yeah, people like Final Fantasy 15, even though it's not necessarily the most popular.
Like 15.
Yeah, even though it's not the most popular, people still like it. So I mean, putting them on projects like that, I don't think it's gonna be a bad thing, at least for the content. But
the thing about 15 was, while people liked it, it wasn't critically acclaimed like some Final Fantasies are, right? And the budget for that game was massive. So for them to not immediately see that return on investment, they were already getting cold feet. And then when the team said, yeah, we want to do 8 pieces of DLC for this, essentially, Square was like, no, we're done. No. You already had a game, you had all this DLC, you had 2 movies, so
it's crazy.
That's kind of what happened with that.
Yeah. Hophead Ed in the chat just popped up, said Forspoken, more like For Broken, am I right? Jeez.
More like For Noken, because nobody wanted it.
Yeah. Man, that's one of those games where, like, right from the beginning, everyone wanted it to do good, but right from the very first trailer, at least for me, like, I knew it was going to be bad. Like, I remember watching the very first teaser they ever put out, and I'm like, no, there's something off about this. Like,
it was the dialogue.
You can smell it immediately. It's like, all right, that has a stink to it. This isn't going to be good.
Is that a freaking dragon?
This is going to be a stinker.
Oh.
It's a stinker. Sure
I
enough.
wanted this one to do so good, Garrett, because we get so few games that have black protagonists. So I was extra pushing for this game, and it just ended up not being good.
Totally. Yeah. It's like, they had every
all
opportunity.
The pieces were there. They just didn't. They didn't make them work right.
Every opportunity for this to be an 8 or 9 out of 10, and they just squandered it somehow. Like, I don't know. Like, it's crazy because they go from making like these one quality game to like then this. Like, what the heck?
It feels like it feels like Forspoken. I played the demo. It feels like an old PS3 game that somebody found on a hard drive, and they're like, you know what, we can expand this a little bit and release it in current day. That's what that feels like to me. It has the sensibilities of a PS3 game.
Yeah, I watched Fran Mirabella the third stream it a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was about a month ago or so. Yeah, it was beginning of when did it come out? I guess it's maybe not even a month old. Whenever it came out, it was around
January?
that time. Yeah, the end of January or some beginning of February it came out. And even just watching him play, I'm like, this does not look fun. Like, the traversal looked horrible. Like, he was having such a hard time getting up, like, this cliff. And there's even, like, part of the travel is, like, you have, like, this weird teleport thing. And you can see these little spots up the cliff where you can go bing, 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 bing to, like, basically, like, super jump up this cliff. And it was still busted. Like, he could not get up this cliff, and he was like getting so frustrated. I'm like, I don't blame him. Like, this looks horrible. Like, the traversal and the open world looked horrible. The open world looked dead. Like, he was just like running around. There's like nothing going on, nothing happening, no rhyme or reason to the world. Like, it just seemed very confusing. I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just sad. It is sad, but hopefully their next thing will be good. Whether it's, like you said, you speculate, DLC for Final Fantasy 16, or who knows? Maybe they'll get a chance at another full game, just maybe with a tighter leash.
Yeah,
who knows?
And it won't be for a while. They got to let this one cool off.
Yeah.
They got to make some money back first.
Yep. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.